Isn't it interesting how we're all aware of certain humans with what we call supernatural abilities, but somehow as a society we don't focus on it. It's kind of like something that it is for those other people to do when we're aware that there are certain ways you can discipline yourself and practice it, you become better at certain things. I want to share more about it. This is a continuation from the previous post. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's just going to draw a fine line into it. Telepathy. Often we think about this as a sci-fi ability, like something that, it's not real. However, there are different people with different experience, and we're going to share our own personal experience with telepathy and how humans can start awakening certain part of their dormant functions of their cellular structure, which is actually innately designed for us to communicate non-verbally. There was a time, sometime in Nigeria, we had a dog, and the dog, and you know how dogs are, when they see you, they just come and, hug you and do all that shit. However, this dog, one time, when he was trying to like pounce on me, it stepped on his own waist. And when he did that, he kind of put the waist on my body, so literally slap shit on me, anyways. And the dog immediately knew he did something awful, and he went sad. You know how they just hide their tail, tuck their tail, and he ran away in shame, something like that. So I went up, changed my clothes, and I went out. And evening time when I came back home, this dog was somewhere there, but the dog didn't come to run towards me. And while I was walking home, I had an idea or a thought in my head that, oh, he's going to be upset with me because of what happened. This is so I don't want to, come and like the dog was kind of thinking that he doesn't want to come close to me because of what happened earlier on. And when I had that thought, I had to go back to the dog to then pet the dog. It was strange, but I knew the thought was coming from the dog. Like it didn't want to come to me because it doesn't feel like it's trying to harass me. Now, this is one very easy function. There are a lot of times that we see something, we think about someone, they call you. This is how telepathy works. 'Cause our brain wave is in this field of consciousness, it's all around us. It is what animates us even. So consciousness is not just your thoughts and the ideas that you get. It's actually what animates us all, from the sun to everything that you can see and touch. Now, this other day, sometime very young, I look at people and I can get what they're thinking of. When I look at them, I can see what they're thinking. I can immediately, instantly, and I thought I was going crazy because there was no example of this before. And I actually had to pray or kind of beg for that thing to stop because I thought it was a dysfunction. So there are certain ways whereby we're so used to the dysfunction that if there's something that comes online that we think is actually unnatural, when actually the natural way of things. This is why certain times when there are certain people is that if you show them too much love, you think that you have something under your sleeve, like it's not genuine because they're used to dysfunction all the time. So we need to start kind of changing our belief system because our belief system that shape us in the way that we think, feel, and express our actions. Because if you believe that you're not worthy, you won't take action that will make you feel worthy. A lot of time people think that, oh, because of certain things that happened in the past, they're not worthy of God's love and this and this and that. The people that even say when they go, they're going to be judged in a pit of fire. But all that is nonsense. If you want to experience God's love, it's available for you right now. There's no judgment. All you need to do is take a time alone and sit inside and ask, Dear Lord, if I am loved, show me. Show me how loved I am. Give me sight, insights. Show me signs so I know that I am loved. You just need to do this sincerely, and it's gonna come, and it's gonna come very strongly, very bigly. And most of the time, people are not ready for it. There are people who've gotten that experience and they're like, "Oh, reduce it. It's too much. It's too much." But what I'm going to tell you is that when you're going through that experience, don't reduce it. Go further. There's so much more into the ecstatic function of divine love, and it's something that everyone needs to experience. This is why we don't even understand how people are in positions of power and they don't understand divine love. Because when you understand divine love, there's no way you create systems like the one you have. You have systems where everything is so conniving, there's always out to get you, there's always some kind of penalty when you do something wrong. There's no compassion, there's no forgiveness in your law system. It's kind of like whatever you do, the law must acquit you. Like this, there's no, oh, we forgive you. This is none of all that. It's draconian. There's no form of compassion in it. And this is why we're projecting and proposing the Department of Compassion. A lot of people will hear this and they'll be like, oh, it sounds really, but you're comfortable with the Department of Defense. The government is investing trillions of dollars to bombard other countries and unalive women and children, and you kind of feel it's okay with it. But the moment you mention the Department of Compassion, and some people will say that while we're giving $1 trillion, we need a way to kind of mitigate the reality from what we're used to with defense budget and say something to counterbalance the effects of the Department of Defense, Department of Compassion, so the kind of body of force that's going to try diplomacy for us before we start throwing on rockets and bombs. it's necessary that every nation have a department of compassion. And this is what we're projecting and proposing. So we can use all the systems to kind of tap into our own innate function and our kindness and our loving parts so people become more free to show love. People expect good things, people expect incentive for good behavior, and all this draconian system that it kind of seems like this is the only way, but it isn't. All we need to do is just one step at a time. We will start taking little acts of kindness and start expressing it. And it will be difficult for people to actually see that if they don't feel they are worthy of it. This is why we mentioned you taking the time out to ask your divine God, dear Lord, dear God, whatever you want to call it, dear God, if I am loved, show me. I need your compassion, I need your love, whatever word you want to put in, whatever language. There's a saying that those who control the past, who tell the story about the past, control the future. Those who control the language, controls the people. Because if everybody's speaking telepathy, there will be no function of lie. You're going to just get someone's internal ideas. You're going to just understand each other. So in order to create this kind of dysfunctional system, they have to take telepathy away so they can tell people that this is how you should behave, this is how you should think, this is how you should feel. And all these things are innate. You don't see animals having to deal with all this whole complexity about communication. So these are things that we, at this time, despite how creative things are, how toxic they are, we should start taking the time out independently, individuals, start taking the time out to develop their innate compassion capacity, their capacity for love, their capacity for kindness, a little bit gentle, a little bit patient, and feel a little bit worthy that you're loved because the universe is so intelligent that the only reason you're here is because you're here by design. And if you're watching this, it is by design. I love you all. We'll share more. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.